Hello, world, and all you people out there tuning in. It's so good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Today, I want to talk about taking a different approach. Now, this could apply to many different things. I am going to give you a personal example, and that's with my work. Sometimes I have people that have certain religious beliefs, or maybe they have certain experiences or challenges that they don't want to talk about that avenue, that particular aspect. And they tell me flat out. One time I had a girl, and she probably was about 30. I say girl because she was in emotional distress and she felt like a more youthful person than her biological age. And the first thing I felt like there was an issue with her mom. And she immediately said, I don't want to talk about my mom. And that was the thing she really needed to talk about. And I was shocked because I'm like, well, that's the first thing that popped into my head intuitively, that there's a mom issue. Well, I found out later her mom had passed away and she was not having processed that loss yet. And to her, it was too raw and current to even discuss it. But in the second half of our reading, she actually opened up and was able to discuss it. So I had to find another approach. I had to find other things, not other topics to talk about, but other approaches to the same thing, because that was the message that I felt was needing to be imparted to her. So when you're up against a situation like that, maybe not that exact one, because most of you are probably not psychics, but just to say to yourself, how can I talk about this differently? How can I discuss it? I've been known to use parables, not necessarily religious parables from the Bible, but different things that I've learned along the way or read in books, different aspects of something to explain it, or even my own personal stories. And sometimes the person thinks I'm telling all these stories about me, just about myself. I'm like, no, there's a point to the story. There's a moral to the story. There's information. It's an analogy, but I happen to have a personal experience that explains it. So that could be a way to approach it. I mean, how about children when you want them to do something? I lived with an 8-year-old for a short time and her dad, and she didn't want to discover things. She wasn't very curious, and she wanted people to do things for her. So I decided to create a treasure hunt, that we had to solve the clues and look through the house and answer the clues to find the treasure. And it worked. She enjoyed it. She, of course, wanted a prize all the time at the end. And sometimes there was a prize and sometimes there wasn't. It just was my way of getting her to learn something that she didn't really want to learn. I didn't force her, but it did work. And I was excited that there was another way to work with someone that was really kind of adamant about not doing it. So that's the tip I have for you today. I hope that helps in some way. Drop me a line. Let me know. # Psychic Senses, # replay. I would love to know what your thoughts are, and I will talk to you again real soon. Bye for now.